week. Another game.
Week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson doing his thing, man. Say he predicted the Raiders was gonna win this game.
Root for the Mike home Tyson,
team. For the home team, man. The King of Vegas, Mike Tyson, 26 wins as a boxer in Vegas. 56-1 overall, 44 knockouts. Man, Mike Tyson, one of the greatest to do it, man.
Facts. He knows a thing or two about winning in Vegas. He also knows a thing about starting.
I was doing so well, man. I was doing so well. I was trying to catch it before you said something too. Damn, man.
I was gonna let it slide. I was like, I ain't gonna say that. He gonna catch it.
I was staring at that 46 for a good minute, bro. It's like, all right.
I was like, is Pharaoh saying something? Does Pharaoh talk to Patrick Graham? Is this a secret message? We're gonna be running the 46.
Right.
Not for real, man. Yeah, for real.
Man, yeah, shout out to Iron Mike, man. He knows.
We're gonna play the clip. We're gonna play the clip. We're gonna show the people what you talking about. So we'll show that, man. Hey, Mike Tyson rooting for the home team. The home team.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, it's that time, man. Make sure to like the thumbs, clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Here we go.
Great Pharaoh. The gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
want, they only win. And I want winners. Winners never stop working. Kick in the front door. Let's get this bad boy rolling.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, they just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow. My cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, but now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas. You wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scramble they spy drones.
That voice is speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in history. I can't explain it.
We back. What's going on? We are back for another edition of Around the Shield. Make sure to clock in, like the thumbs, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are available on all our channels, so make sure to hit the like button on all channels if you can. And my guys here, man, we got the Severe Raider. You know, make sure to follow him all over all platforms. And we got Big Mike Raider as well. Hey, we got the whole crew today, man. We got a lot to talk about. What's good, man? How's everybody doing, man?
Man, we're good. A lot more drama to talk about, you know. Good for the content, bad for the team, but we're hoping to turn things around on Sunday, man. It's gonna be all right.
That's what I'm hoping, man. That's what I'm hoping, man. It's been, man, a crazy couple of weeks, man. Yeah, we're definitely good. I mean, outside of the Raiders, obviously we love the team. I think we can all speak for everybody right now. We're all doing well. We're all doing good. But at the same time, we do want the Raiders to get it together. Come on, we need to see more W's, more wins. Obviously, the last couple weeks have been crazy. We'll get into all that talk, all that Davante update. We'll get into all that. But the Raiders do play the Steelers this week, and there was a quarterback change. And make sure everybody, man, like I said, hey, I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, man, to let y'all know. Actually, you know what? I actually put out a poll already, asking the nation who should start this week. We'll probably get into that in a little bit, but let's just not waste any time. I mean, the Raiders play the Steelers this week. It's going to be a tough. I mean, obviously, Antonio Pierce announced the AOC as the starter this week, but it's going to be a tough game. You know, Mike Tomlin coach team. You already know what's going to happen. Tough defensively. They're going to try to run the football, and they got a new quarterback this year. Last year, I wasn't scared of Kyle Pickett. I already forgot his name. You know what I mean? He's a backup quarterback for the Eagles now. He's
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. It don't even matter. You know what I mean? He should have stayed with the Steelers. I don't know why he got all in his feelings, but you know it is what it is. But they got Fields now, and Fields kind of adds a different element to that quarterback position. A little bit more mobile. So that's something that the Raiders are going to have to keep an eye on. Hopefully, I mean, I know Severe's going to have a lot to say about Justin Fields, especially, you know what I mean? So we'll get into that. But actually, let's start with Severe, man. What do you think of the Steelers' offense so far this season?
Offense has been extremely underwhelming, man. Extremely underwhelming. I think Justin Fields had one of his best games 2 games ago. And then against the Cowboys defense that was missing Micah Parsons, missing DeMarcus Lawrence. I think they had a few other injuries as well. He struggled mightily. So I know a lot of people in the beginning of the year, much like they were doing with the Saints after the first 2 games, like, oh, look at Justin Fields now without Luke Getsy. And then he fell right down to earth, just like the Saints came crashing right back down to earth as well. So He's been struggling. The running game, and mainly because they cannot get the running game going, whether it be Najee Harris or Jalen Warren. Neither one of them have been that productive. So, and their weapons don't scare me, man. The weapons really don't scare me. I mean, George Pickens is a monster. Like, do not get that twist at all. He's a problem on the outside, and he'll be a problem for either one of our corners because he's a guy that is extremely physical, great jumping ability. And he's going to play with, like I said, he's going to play with physicality all game. And neither one of our corners are that big, but nobody else in their team offensively, I don't think I'm really worried about. It's just their defense. Their defense is one of the best units in the league, whether it be in the pass. They have a top 5 rush defense. So that's the side of the ball I'm concerned with. Offensively, Justin Fields don't scare me, man. Still president of the Justin Fields is no good fan club.
That's hilarious, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, their passing offense is, near the bottom tier in the league. Obviously, overall, they're offensively, they're not really a juggernaut over there, But at the same time, like I said, Steelers, you already know that they're one of those teams, historical teams. They have an identity, and they're going to play good defense. And especially they're going to run that football. And I believe they're just outside of the top 10. I mean, Mike, let's go to the other side of the football. I mean, defense. What can we expect from this Steelers team defensively?
They got a lot of stars over there. They got big Cameron Hayward in the middle, anchoring that middle. So I'm a little bit concerned for our interior offensive line, particularly Andre James. We're going to have to, 3-step drop with Aiden O'Connell. Get the ball out of your hands real quick, short routes, yards after the catch, slow down that pass rush. TJ Watt, we already know what he does, whatever number time defensive player of the year, so he's doing his thing. Their linebackers are formidable. Patrick Queen and the rest of the company over there in their secondary, second to none. Minkah Fitzpatrick leading the way, and they got a young Porter Jr. over there at corner holding it on one end. So they got a lot of young, hungry defenders on that side and a bunch of veterans who are Pro Bowl, all-pro caliber guys. So the Raiders on offense are going to have to get rid of the ball quickly. Last week we saw the Raiders in the 13 personnel. We didn't see much of that. 3 tight ends, max protect. Shout out to John Schenker, our UDFA from last year. He got some burn last week. I'm expecting to see him more again on Sunday. So him, a mixture of number 84, and of course our guy number 1 rated PFF tight end in the league, Brock Bowers. So we got to find Brock Bowers early and often. Like I said, I've been saying it all last couple of weeks. 12 targets last week. Let's continue with that. He needs at least 10. And that's what we need to do. Target Brock Bowers early and often, short passes, and let the short passes lead to the run. The run is going to be a little bit trickier to get going with against the Steelers defense, so we're going to have to be a little creative. So, max protect. Get the running game started through max protect. They did a lot of motion. The Raiders did a lot of motioning with the tight ends. Let's see some more of that. Let's see that. I think those scripted plays, those first scripted plays that the Raiders did, Getsy did a great job in that first quarter, and then things just kind of unravel for whatever reason. But they need to continue that. Continue with what we saw in the first quarter against the Broncos, and I think it'll be all right.
Hey, man, I hear you, and I agree with that. It's going to be tough running against this team. But it might, if we're being a little bit, all right, if we're looking at this team as a whole, especially offensively so far this year, the Raiders have probably been a better passing team than running the football. You know what I mean? As much as they want to run that football, they've struggled for the most part. But the last couple of weeks they've improved, but they're going against a team that's like number 6 against the run. Against the pass, they're like just outside of the top 20 or in the top 20, but it's tough because you're going against a front where they're going to get pressure on the quarterback, and AOC, as much as I want him to be successful this Sunday, that's one of his weaknesses when he's under pressure, which is for a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, they're not going to be as good as against the pressure, but the good ones can make plays. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be a tough game. Most likely a low scoring game. I mean, Steelers are literally number 2 in the NFL in allowing points. Chargers are number 1, but Steelers are right behind them at number 2. So we'll see how it shakes out. It is a home game. The Raiders can get to Las Vegas. Now I'm gonna say that it's a home game. I was there at that Steelers games last year. Man, when I say Steelers took over, man, it was Steelers fans, and historically speaking, Steelers fans do travel well. So there's that. Even in Oakland, I seen a whole bunch of Steelers fans, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. But it's just, in Vegas, everything is magnified since they made that move, and if it feels like every team's fan base has been able to take over the stadium. But this is a big game for the Raiders. I mean, we feel like we say that every week, but this week, I think the way they lost last week, I think everything that's going on outside of the team with Davante and stuff like that, from what we've seen from Antonio Pierce coach teams, they respond well. So we'll see how where it goes from there. But I mean, what do y'all think about the ALC this week? The start. Did you guys think it was the right move? Severe? Let me start with you.
I mean, personally, I felt eventually, just because Gardner Minshew has been getting it done, eventually we're going to have to make the switch. I would have rather Gardner Minshew played this game. And then if we're going to go to Aiden against the Rams, that's essentially going to be a home game for us. It's much less of an imposing defense. Aaron Donald's not there anymore. I think Leonard Floyd is gone from there, so it's not the same defense. They're decimated on an offensive side of the ball, so it's a situation where he starts that game. I think he has a real good chance of winning that game. I don't think the chance of him winning this game is quite as high. But AP has never lost 2 games in a row as the head guy, so there is a chance. But I think it's a very daunting task. And then just the fact that our offensive line struggled. Even our offensive line has been improving, but we still been struggling. We especially struggle with teams who have strong interior defensive linemen. Like, there are very few teams with better interior defensive linemen than Cam Hayward. Yeah. Very few teams, with a better pass rusher than TJ Watt. So, like, this is ideally this isn't the game you want to start your less mobile quarterback with. But as Mike kind of spoke to, if we construct a game plan around, hey, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, getting the ball in the hands of guys like Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers, let them do what they do with the ball in their hands. Maybe run some screen passes with Trey Tucker. Do some jet sweeps and stuff like that with Brock. Kind of some screens as well, right? Like, I know Getsy, he gonna call screens anyway, but kind of take advantage of that pass rush when those guys come screaming upfield. Throw a screen behind them and hope we pick up some big yardage. So I think that's kind of the plan. But as I said earlier, I would have rather this start come against the Rams, because I don't want his confidence to be crushed or him to take in a beating early, and then he turns into Gardner Minshew and he starts seeing ghosts for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. I think it's the right move to start AOC. I hear what you're saying. I do want to see AOC start the game and see what that looks like, and not have him come in later in the game where it's like obvious passing situations where the other team is basically teeing off because they know the Raiders have to come back and beat them and all that. So I want to see him in that situation. Also, I want to see him with a run game. Obviously, we've seen AOC for a while now. We've seen him since last year, but this is his second year. We want to see, is there growth? What is it going to look like with the pieces that we have in offense? And we're going to get into let's actually not waste any time, and let's get into the injury report, because I'm kind of concerned too, because you might have a point with, yeah, man. I'm some of the players that are on this injury report haven't practiced all week. I don't know if it's gonna be good to start AOC this week. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. So here is the Thursday injury report with the Raiders. Obviously, the all-important Friday practice is where we'll have a good idea of who's going to be playing this game and their chances. But there's a lot of DNPs here, man. A lot of did not practice. Davante Adams, we already know his situation. Max, I think that there's a good chance maybe they're resting him, but hey, there could be a possible chance maybe things flared up. So we don't know. But Devon Diablo's back. For all the people that was mad at Luke Masterson and Eichenberg and how they struggled, you've seen the value in Devon Diablo and his athleticism and what he could bring to the table outside of, I know Samir got something to say to that. But, okay, Devon Diablo fully practiced. Tommy Eichenberg did not practice. Michael Mayer is still out with personal reasons.
Yeah.
Tyreek McAllister missed last game, I believe, and I think he's dealing with some injury, but he fully practiced. But this is where I start getting concerned. This is where I get concerned because some of the guys I'm like, all right, I think Max might practice on Friday. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Jacoby.
Yeah. Jacoby is the one out of every list that I'm very concerned about.
Especially his chemistry.
Especially with chemistry with Aiden O'Connell. That's his guy. That's his number one guy. He's shown that's his favorite receiver. Max Crosby. Even better than Davante, right? Max Crosby, I'm not worried about it. He has a high ankle sprain, and the fact that he's even out there and playing at the level he's playing is amazing, considering that he has a high ankle sprain. That's usually a 6 to 8 week type of deal that you're dealing with, and I think he's like on his 3rd or 4th week with this injury, and looked like he doesn't even have an injury when he's out there. So he's just resting up. It's good to see Devon Diablo back. I mean, he didn't look great before, but it's got to be better than what we have out there. Tommy Eichenberg, he needs to sit back down. He's not ready. And then, Colton Miller, he's been dealing with that knee and shoulder. And I'm saying that he hasn't looked the same all season. He hasn't looked himself all season. If he's not giving up a sack, he's giving up pressures. So, and then on the good news, right, is that we might be getting Thayer Munford back. So, we'll see. We'll be able to decide when Munford comes back. Is DJ Glaze the better option? So we'll get some questions answered in this situation. You know what I mean? Even if Munford comes back, if not, DJ Glaze is doing an excellent job. Feet to fire. He's got to reduce the penalties, pre-snap. But so far so good with him. So as far as the injury report goes, the only person that I'm really concerned about is Jacoby Myers in this situation.
And this
and JPJ.
Right
JPJ too. Yeah. JPJ. You didn't even keep scrolling down. JPJ is, did not practice with that knee. This is a guy that we've been talking about. Hey, are you injury prone? We didn't see him all at camp. We didn't see him. And then the moment he comes out, he plays very well, but now he's back on the injury report. So it's just a little bit concerning. And those JPJ and Jacoby Myers we need those guys. That's a catastrophic hit to this offense if they don't play.
Yeah. I mean, the Cameron Richardson,
he's back. He might be back.
He might be able to make an appearance this game.
Might be debuting.
I don't think he never was. Yeah. I think he's a rookie. He's going to have to earn his way onto the football field. But NFL, man, injuries happen at any moment, at any time. So he's limited. And the crazy thing is that hamstring. Like I said before, man, hamstring should be an IR worthy injury because, literally, I mean, and that's what I'm kind of like. I'm looking at. We'll probably get into Davante in a little bit, but like Davante having a hamstring injury, it makes me kind of look like the way they're talking, like, oh, Davante is going to be healthy anytime now. I'm like, did he really get injured in the first place?
Right.
I don't know, because hamstring injuries are, obviously they're nagging injuries as you can see.
They're very difficult to deal with.
The
soft tissue issues are always difficult.
Yep. And then you got DJ Turner, who's on that. This is tough right here. He's limited though. It's not like he's not practicing, but he has that hamstring injury as well. Zamir is out. I don't
want
Zamir
to stretch, bro. These dudes not stretching or not hydrating properly, or what the hell is going on?
Bro,
with these
I don't know what's going
bro.
on, bro. Like,
Zamir just gets into the gym, lifts, and doesn't stretch. He just walks out.
yeah, I'm good. Like,
I'm just talking about all these hamstrings, quote unquote. Like, all these dudes not is they not doing? You know, they not.
Hey man,
that's what happens when you don't practice during. You don't play in the preseason. You know what I mean? You going 40% for a month and a half, and then you're forced to go 100% week 1. Like, that's what happens. You know, these guys aren't playing and getting the reps that they should. You know, in years past, you see a lot more injuries in this day and age than you ever have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just you know, it's not even just the Raiders' problem. This is an NFL problem. So
you
know.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's so true, because I mean, they're gonna have to figure that out, because I'm sure the NFL is a business, man. They look at it as a product, and I'm sure, like, come on, if they want to put the best product on a football field, meaning like the best version of the game, then players got to be healthy. So I think they're gonna have to figure that out, because they're continuing to sign these huge deals with these YouTubes and all these networks and all this type of stuff, making all types of money, and then they're trying to expand the season to like 18 games. I'm like, yo, like y'all haven't even solved the injury problem. I mean, severe. If you want to speak on what's like your biggest concern looking at this injury report, I know Mike was talking about, you know, JPJ and Jacoby. Is there anything here that like pops out to you that you would probably be concerned with as far as the injury report?
Yeah, man. I don't know what we're gonna do without Tommy Eichenberg, man. Like, that dude, that dude. Like, look, he played 45 snaps and he had 1 tackle, man. What are we gonna do without that 1 tackle? Like, that tackle could have prevented a touchdown. You never know. He could have stopped, but seriously, like the one that concerns me the most is Jacoby, just because, you know. Like, not only do we now have our number 1 receiver, we don't have our number 1 receiver. And then if you look at the other receivers on our roster, like, we really don't have any size at that position outside of Jacoby, right? Unless we call up Ramel Keaton, and he's a rookie. Yeah. You know, he's a rookie UDFA, right? We really want him starting in that kind of game. So at that point, you know, your starters are receiver or DJ Turner and Trey Tucker, you know. Mm-hmm. So a very small receiving core. And not saying they can't work, but it's just that you obviously you want a little bit more size at that position. We already had personnel all day. Man, we're gonna have to go 13, man, with Harrison Bryant, Brock, and but then, you know, like, Brock was split out wide. Brock was out in the slot a lot. They really didn't have him in. They had him in line, but I think they utilized them. They moved him around a lot, which is what they should do. But you know, that I think that kind of that not having that other true receiving threat on the outside, I think that kind of limits what you could do offensively. So I think that's the biggest blow right there. But either way, man, you know, Jacoby there or not, it's going to be a healthy helping of Brock Bowers all game long, as it should be.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But as you can see, DJ Turner, Zamir White, Trey Taylor's on the injury report, but he fully practiced.
Yeah, I'm happy to see him, because I don't want to see any more Harper out there. That guy he wasn't getting it done. He was not getting it done.
Yeah. Right. And looking at the Steelers injury report, they're looking overall pretty healthy. They got some big names on there that you know that are in the injury report, but they look like they're practicing. Like, you know, got Minka Fitzpatrick, he fully practiced. Najee Harris, obviously fully practiced. Russell Wilson, you know, that's something to keep an eye on, because, you know, you never know. He might come in for Fields. That was a guy that they brought in, and they announced that he was going to be a starter, but he kind of dealt with injuries early on.
Highsmith's limited. Dang.
Yeah, so, you know, he's limited, so it looks like he might be trending to possibly play this week. TJ Watt, he's good to go. A little rest. Yeah. Little veteran rest day, fully practice. Cordell Patterson, it's a big, you know, might be an X factor in a game where it's a defensive game where, you know, this guy contributes on the special teams. You know, we all know he's always been like one of the more explosive return guys in the NFL. But he hasn't practiced this week, so we'll keep an eye on that. But for the most part, I feel like the Steelers are probably a lot more healthier compared to the Raiders. Is this where we I got a real quick question. Is this where we fire John Gruden's son? Because he's not getting the job done right now. Is he still with the team? I don't know if he got fired.
These boys need to take a yoga course, bro. They need to sign up for some Pilates, man. Like, hey, these soft tissue injuries and a lot of it is flexibility. But a lot of it is also not getting the reps that you should at the beginning. You know, that's like trying to start a car and then you jump on the freeway, you know, after not starting the car for a while. You know what I mean? Like you might have some sputtering going on. You might have some issues.
Exactly.
So, you know, that is true. You know what I mean? But I don't know what's going on over there, man. Like, you know, and I, you know, I also got that theory about what I said earlier about, you know, their tempo at the beginning of camp from the beginning, how it was super high, super intense, and then they kind of just sputtered out over time. And you start to see it. Like, you're starting to see guys just fall out, you know? So I want to see something more steady next year, but like as far as tempo and not going out there like, you know, like a bat out of hell right out of the beginning of this training camp. But, you know, that's next year. But as far as this year goes, they need to get like, I don't know. They need to get that like We Fit lady, you know, come in there and get them to do some flexibility. I don't know, man. They need to get somebody in there.
Something, Pilates, something. Like they got to add something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that pretty much wraps up the injury report. We'll keep an eye on what it looks like on Friday because obviously that's going to be the big telltale sign of who's going to play during the game, questionable, all that type of stuff. You know, you already know what it is. But that being said, let's get into the keys to the game. And another thing, but shout out Colt Miller. Colt Miller has struggled so far this season, and he actually had a pretty solid game. I know, Mike, you've been really tough on him just because obviously you're kind of seeing you're trying to see if there's a downward, if there's a trend with him where possibly, you know what, we might have to move forward because Thayer Mumford he's better on the left side than he is the right side, but is Thayer Mumford a starting caliber left tackle?
Yeah,
I don't know. Might be more suited to play maybe at swing tackle, but we'll see, man. But what are your thoughts on Colt Miller and what you've seen last week?
Like you said, he's improved, and hopefully that's an upward trend. Before this, he's given up 5 sacks this season, which is not great. You know, you're playing as like one of the worst tackles in the league when we know that, you know, at your best you're a top 10 tackle in this league. But right now he's not looking great, and that brings my concern because, you know, he might be like we might be a day late, dollar short. Like, you know, we keep guys way too long sometimes. And next year he's getting, you know, his contract is very team friendly, and if we got rid of him, it doesn't hurt too much. I think it's like a $1 million, a little bit over $1 million cap hit. But at the same time, like when he's at his best, it is a bargain deal. But if you're looking at your future and you're looking at where he's trending, if he's starting to kind of decline just a little bit, I say it's time to, you know, just peel the Band-Aid off. You know, it might not be the most comfortable thing to do right now, but, you know, next year you might want to go locate another, you know, left tackle, especially if you bring another quarterback. You know what I mean? You're going to need a left tackle on that side to protect. So either you coin up for a left tackle that's in free agency. I don't know who the free agents are, or, you know, you do what you can to, you know, draft the left tackle in the future. Because if Colt Miller is not that guy, we need to find somebody right away, real soon. So
and you're on to something because Telesco, he's known to build through the draft with the trenches. So obviously before he left the Chargers, he left a pretty good O-line over there. I mean, I think he drafted
very good O-line.
Yeah, good left tackle. I know there's
Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson.
Zion Johnson was a guy that I like coming out, and he obviously the Chargers got one of those guys. And this year, you know, Harbaugh was able to add Joe Alt, so their O-line is looking good for the next few years. So, you know, maybe the Raiders are going to probably take a page out of their book. But we'll see, man. Hey, but let's get into the keys to the game. Mike, what's your big key to winning this game?
Brock Bowers early and often, especially if we have, Jacoby Myers down, right? We're going to need to really focus in on getting Brock Bowers going. It looked like they were getting that going early in the game against the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then, Gardner Minshew missed a lot of opportunities where he could have found him going for a home run shot. He got 12 targets, but it could have very well been like 16, 17,
right.
Especially if we have, Jacoby Myers go down, it's going to be a Brock Bowers show, like more than we think. And 13 personnel, max protect, we're going to have to give Aiden O'Connell some time, get him comfortable in the pocket, especially if we want to go vertical with Brock Bowers. Going to have, a tight end or two tight ends along with that tackle to kind of chip TJ Watt. Or you get one of those tight ends, put him in the backfield as one of those as a fullback / running back, but there for pass protection. We saw that too against the Broncos. So definitely got to protect Aiden O'Connell, get him comfortable, and do those short yard, short passes. Isolate Trey Tucker, one-on-one situations and get him the ball and have him make a move one-on-one on the corner and then go for yards after the catch. That's the key. We got to be real strategic in play calling, especially if we're going to go against a team who on paper their players, they got formidable elite guys. So we're going to have to out scheme them in some sort of way. So scheme is important. 13 personnel, max protection for Aiden O'Connell on offense. That's my keys to winning for this game with the Raiders on offense.
Okay. Severe, man. What do you got?
Protect Aiden O'Connell. I think that's the most important thing. We all know his weakness is his ability to move. And I think, and I know already what people are going to say, oh, he ran, or he can like I think people, when we say he's a statue or he can't move, they expect him to be like a paraplegic, like where he just can't move his feet at all. No, he can. Anybody, he's just extremely slow, and that was on full display against the Broncos. So he's not ideal in that situation. He's not really great when he's throwing the ball on the run. You want him to be able to set his feet, get the ball out of his hands. That's when he's at his most accurate, and that's the kind of situation you want to put him in. Let him be able to set his feet, have a relatively clean pocket, and be able to try to distribute the ball to the few targets we have left that are worth throwing to in this team. So that being said, I think that is the most important part, or the most important key to the game, just making sure we protect him, and not necessarily even to win this game, but just for his confidence the rest of the season. You don't want him to, his very first start, get beat up, because that can have ramifications that reverberate until the end of the year.
Yeah, man. Hopefully JPJ could be healthy this week. I think that's, if just to double down on what you're saying, man. Like, if we're gonna protect Aiden O'Connell, you want the best guys out there, and we kind of seen what it looked like to begin the season when JPJ wasn't out there. Like, I feel like the offensive line struggled, but when he got in there, we seen a lot of good things. Check out Big Mike's breakdown a couple weeks ago of him, and hey, JPJ looks like he's going to be a player for us. I think last week he might have struggled a little bit. Last week a little bit. There's some moment at times, but I think if we can, so there's some mistakes here and there, but that's to be expected. He's a young player, and he's going to correct that. Hopefully he plays out this week. But I'm gonna go to the other side of the football. And this game, this is gonna be a defensive football game. If we're looking at it on paper and we're trying to see how the Raiders can win this game, it has to be a defensive football game. This goes back to, and I'm just gonna say this too as well, man. The biggest disappointment this season, I know a lot of us been talking about the quarterback play, offensively, the play calling, and this, that, and the third. It's been a defense, man. The biggest disappointment has been the defense. They lead the league in missed tackles with 56. Yeah. And you look at a team like the Steelers, for example, they're like number 3 in the NFL, like third lowest in the NFL as far as missed tackles. But the Raiders, we've seen it in every game. It doesn't matter how healthy they were, they've missed tackles. So this is something that they need to correct, especially against a team that you know is going to want to out-physical you. Like, they want to run the football. They're going to want to be physical on offense. So I feel like the defense needs to set the tone and for the Raiders to even have a chance to win this game. But I agree with everything you guys have to say as far as protecting AOC. And, yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, man. The missed tackles, right? And that kind of adds on to my point what I was saying about them kind of coming out like too fast, too hype. There's two reasons why you miss tackles, right? One, you just don't have the want to make a tackle, right? Like, you just, teams that miss tackles are usually teams that are like they don't have the desire to want to hit the give a F, right? That's how I say it. They don't have that. I don't think the Raiders are in that realm. The second one is that they're tired. That's the second one, is when you're missing tackles, you're tired. So we got to start looking at what's their battle rhythm. You know what I mean? What are they doing during the week? You know what I mean? Are they, we're seeing injuries too. Like, what's going on during the week to where Sunday comes up and now nobody wants to make a hit. Nobody wants to get down and tackle and get, you know what I mean? Like, we got to start looking at stuff like that. Like, we got to start looking at the battle rhythm. We got to start looking at, what their routine is during the week, because all the signs are pointing to them like they're a little fatigued, And, I don't know if that's because, they just came out too hard or I don't know. But it's something to keep an eye on. That's all I got to say about it, man.
Yeah.
Definitely,
make a good point, man, because it's been an issue all year, like every game. To start off the season, they would start off the first half strong, and then the second half is where you probably can say that, oh man, like, they're giving up big plays, bad run fits, you know what I mean, or they're missed tackles, whatever the case may be. It would happen in the second half, but then as the season went on, obviously with injuries taking a toll and. Injury. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm not trying to say that, the Raiders defense haven't dealt with their fair share of injuries, but still, even when they were healthy, it was a little bit of like, hey man, I thought this was supposed to be a top 10 defense, top 5. But what people fail to realize is, like, top 10, top 5 defenses don't do what the Raiders are doing defensively this year. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Straight up. But
and also, like, some of it is, if you're not mentally strong to overcome adversity, and we saw that directly happen with the Raiders last week. One play turned this whole game around. But if you're a defense that you feel like that you're doing your end of the bargain and the offense isn't, that can be a mental toll as well too. So that. You got to keep that in consideration. There's a lot of things to look at as far as why you're missing tackles outside of they just don't know how to tackle. Like, there's reasons for that. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
Hopefully they clean it up, man. Hopefully they clean it up.
No, I hope so too. I mean, hopefully they get healthier. Hopefully they got it. They got to figure it out, man. I think because in order for if the Raiders are going to be competitive this year, because it's still early in the season. There's still 5 games into the season. I understand there's some serious concerns with this team moving forward, obviously, because we've seen what we've seen. There's certain things that probably won't be improved until after the season, like the quarterback position. But I feel like defensively, it's been a disappointment. I know there's been big injuries, but hey, man, the good top 10, if you're talking about these top 10, top 5 defenses, these were the expectations going into the season. I feel like no one's really talking about that. And I feel like it's kind of been a disappointment so far this season. But for this game against the Steelers, if the defense could lead the way, set the tone, and make them one-dimensional, stop the run, because I said earlier in the show, they're outside of the top 10 in running the football and being productive. So if we can take away a strength like that, and we all know Severe hates. He's the president of the I Hate Justin's Field Club, but for a reason, because he struggles at times. And if we can put him in situations where he has to, hold the ball a little bit longer, a guy like Max Crosby, hopefully he's healthy, can get after the quarterback. Tyree Wilson maybe gets his first sack. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like,
he's improving.
He's improving.
He is.
He's improving.
He's improving.
Yeah, he's. It's not like he's not out there making no plays or not making an impact. I mean, we see him like there at times he's pressuring the quarterback. I'm like, all right, that's good to see. You know what I mean? And hopefully, because maybe it might be a blessing in disguise that he's getting this amount of snaps. Maybe it's forcing him to get better by experience. So, yeah, no, I'm trying to be positive here, but definitely, my key is definitely the Raiders shutting down the Steelers offense and making this a defensive game for them to have a chance at winning this game. Straight up.
Yeah, definitely.
But hey man, we'll tune in. We'll tune in for the score. We usually do the scores at the end of the show. But make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Y'all be seeing this on all of our channels, so make sure to hit the like button on all channels if y'all can. Appreciate the support. Now let's move it along real quick, man. Let's move it along. It's that time, man. It's around the nation. You know what I mean? This whole segment has kind of like it's matured. You know, at first we went from comments. You know what I mean? We went for comments, and we appreciate the comment. We appreciate the supports, and we'll incorporate the comments future. But now it's about what Raider Nation is talking about, and I feel like that's a good conversation to have. And this week, obviously, the Davante Adams saga continues, and this week, you know, Antonio Pierce talked to the media, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this short clip here of him addressing Davante Adams real quick. Our Davante Adams question. Let's see here. Boom, let's go. Oh.
He's still a Raider. He's never not been a Raider.
Yeah, actually playing a game for the Raiders.
He's still a Raider. When he's healthy and he can play, we'll play him. He's just not healthy right now. And he's getting closer, though. That's the good part. He's working every day to get that hamstrings right. He's in the right headspace mentally. Like I said, we talked recently and had a good conversation, and he's ready to play football.
Has he been rehabbing here at the facility, Antonio?
Yes.
Have you seen him here?
He's still a Raider.
So that was you know, Antonio Pierce talking about, you know, I mean, real quick. I mean, Severe, man, I know you got something to say about this, man. Like, what was your first reaction? Did you believe what Antonio Pierce had to say?
Oh yeah. See, and this is the maturation of Antonio Pierce as a head coach, right? He's getting more into the semantics game. He's getting more into the political game where he's still a Raider. He's never not been a Raider, and that's true. Technically, he is still under contract for the Raiders. Mm-hmm. He said if he's able to play, we will play him, and I'm sure, you know, if he gets past the trade deadline and he's still here, that's what will happen. But you know, like, he never at any point did he say Davante wants to be a Raider. Davante rescinded his trade request and he wants to stay with the team for the rest of the year. He said none of that. Yeah. He said he's still a Raider. And in the truest sense of the word, yes, he is still a Raider. So, you know, he said Davante's in a good headspace. He wants to play football. He didn't say he wants to play for the Raiders. He said Davante wants to play football. Right? He didn't say he's ready to come back to the team. He said he wants to play football. So that is just all stuff that, you know, like you see Antonio Pierce making that evolution to where he's saying truthful things, but there is other meaning to those things. You kind of have to read in between those lines. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad to see him learning that aspect, because sometimes being too blunt, that can cause you issues. As we see, all of this firestorm partly started with him liking a post, a true post at that, but a post, and you know, it started off a whole bunch of nonsense. So man, like, Antonio Pierce is learning how to play the game.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that you see it that way. You saw it as growth in Antonio Pierce, because a lot of people are kind of, for some reason, are getting impatient with Antonio Pierce. Like, how you hire an inexperienced guy and not be patient with them? That don't make any sense. I don't even understand the noise about Antonio Pierce, like, oh, not coming back, or he needs to get, you need to get rid of it. I'm like, what do you? That don't make any sense. If you're gonna hire an inexperienced guy, let him, you know, go through the growing pains and get better. Like, straight up, like, don't make any sense.
But before you go, real quick, Mike, Just let me say this, because there's a lot of people that want Antonio Pierce gone, right? A lot of these people are the same people that will say we can't judge Aiden O'Connell because he's a rookie and he only had 9 games and he got thrust into a bad situation. But Antonio Pierce was thrust into those same situations. He was a rookie head coach, and last year he only had 9 games plus these games now, but we want him gone. We can get rid of him. He can be jettisoned off, but we have to give Aiden O'Connell every single chance in the world to make excuses for everything he does. But we can't make these same excuses for Antonio Pierce for some reason. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Both these guys are young guys. If you're going to judge one guy by a certain standard, then Antonio Pierce should be judged by that same standard. They're both guys new to their position, growing and learning in their roles. They're both they're fairly young for their roles, so it's going to take time for them to grow into them.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Mike, what did you think, man? Because like a lot of what happened at the same time of this announcement, we heard the New York Jets fired their head coach. Derek Carr goes down with the injury. Did you think it had any impact on Davante Adams, having a change of heart?
Absolutely. And that's the football gods kind of, showing their presence. You know what I mean? Like the way that Davante Adams has been operating has been atrocious. He called himself being a guy who, straight to the punch, a guy that we can rely on, and he's not that diva guy. But when it really came down to it, this guy really showed his diva cards, and that's who he is now, right? I agree with Severe a lot of stuff he said, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate just for the sake of discussion, right? Could it be that, Davante Adams might be getting what he wants in Aiden O'Connell starting? Could it be that, AP is having these discussions with him? They had a man-to-man talk, and now they're trying to mend the fence a little bit. Could it be that? It could. I mean, if you look at AP's demeanor, if you look at his body language, it was more upbeat. He seemed a little bit happy when he got the question. He didn't seem like he was annoyed by the question. So to me, I'm like, are they trying to fix it behind the scenes? You know what I mean? That's something that, to me, I'm like really trying to pay attention to. So every time he gets a Davante Adams question from this point forward, I'm not looking at the words he's saying. I'm looking at his body language. His body language said that, hey, Davante Adams might still be around. There's a chance that we haven't seen the last of him. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think I'm leaning towards him still not being around. But if he is around, I said this on the show with Elite, there's conditions. There's conditions if he's going to stay here. You got to do some apologizing, man. And it starts with this fan base. We are a unique fan base in the NFL. There's 31 other teams, and then there's the Raiders. And then when you talk about the team, the Raiders, you're talking about Raider Nation. We're one of the only teams that feels like we're part of the team. And players know that. They acknowledge that. So if you're going to go ahead and diss a major part of your team, which is the fan base, Raider Nation, you're going to have to come out and publicly apologize for your actions, for me to be okay with you staying around. On top of, okay, having a man-to-man with AP, which I'm assuming is going to happen if he does mend the fence. They got to, iron things out and get things good, and then get into your locker room and fix that situation. But the third aspect of it is he's got to stand in front of us, go on the Kay Adams show, and apologize for your actions, because you have made our team look like an embarrassment to the rest of the NFL. We got idiots like, Michael Lombardi coming out talking out of his ass about the Raiders when he knows absolutely nothing about what's going on. But everybody's saying that this is a dumpster fire simply because Davante Adams doesn't want to play here. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to come out and apologize if you want to stay here. If that is the case, if that is a possibility, you got to really fix this. You got to fix this, because to be honest with you, I don't want him back. And the only way, winning and playing well is gonna fix a lot of that. But before you do that, man, you got to fix it with us first, man. I hope you guys feel the same way.
No, I agree with you 100%, but I'm kind of you either all in or you're all out, and Davante Adams has shown his true colors, and apparently he's been showing his true colors for a while now, because if you just look at the reaction to that locker room when all this news, it was just like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we gonna do what we do, you know. They've been hearing this for a while now, and Davante officially kind of made it more official by requesting a trade. Now, I took what Antonio Pierce said as the Raiders haven't been really getting the offers that they would like. So in order to increase those offers, they have to show the NFL that, you know what, we're willing to keep Davante. If we don't get the right deal, that's their mentality. We're willing to keep Davante. And I'm not mad at it. I mean, that's smart. You know what I mean? But you know, it's gonna be tough, because now, like, there's gonna be some teams that might want to. Are they gonna call the Raiders bluff? You know, because I know the Raiders. You know, according to Vinny, the Raiders want to move on just as much as Davante wants to move on from the team. This is according to Vinny, a Raiders beat writer. So, you know, you can take that for how you want to take that. But Davante, you know,
If that's the case, man, get used to being at home. You can do some more Taco Bell commercials. Learn how to make baby food. Learn how to swaddle a baby. You know what I mean? Go ahead and go ahead and relax, man, because you're gonna be a Raider for a minute. You're gonna be a Raider for a minute until we get what we want out of this. We're gonna win at the end of this one. You know what I mean? And that's what it has to be if that's the case.
Yeah. And you know what too? If this was Al Davis, oh man, he would have been so ruthless. He would have been so ruthless. He would have kept them in that contract for the next 2 to 3 years. Never played not one snap with any team. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He would have ruined his entire career, bro.
Just destroyed his career. Yeah, just destroyed his career out of spite and paid the money. Like, hey, I'll pay this money.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, go ahead, Sabir.
No, I was just saying that, you know, just in terms of Davante, you know, and him and Antonio Pierce talking. I know a lot of people. I know, and Mike kind of said it, playing devil's advocate is like the Aiden O'Connell thing. I think that could play a big role in it, because I think at the end of the day he wants to play with somebody he has some familiarity with. You know, he has some more familiarity with Aiden O'Connell than he does Gardner Minshew. But I just think that, you know, he wanted to go, like, his top 2 destinations were the Jets and the Saints, right? He looks at the Jets. That's a even more dysfunctional franchise right now than us. And then Aaron Rodgers coming off a game where he played pretty horribly. You know, he had a pick 6 himself through 2 additional interceptions. And then, you know, he's, you know, having blow-ups at the head coach all the time. Nathaniel Hackett just got demoted. You know, Jeff Elbrook is the interim head coach now. So, like, is that – and then I think there's been some issues between Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. So, do you really want to walk into that tumultuous situation? Probably not. Then you look at the Saints, right? And everybody was, Clint Kubiak, he's the greatest thing on earth after the first 2 games. And then that dude fell off the cliff, you know, fashioning a Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner. So it's just looking all bad over there. And on top of that, Derek Carr is hurt now. So it's like, do I want to go to that situation where Clint Kubiak, you know, even with all these weapons, those guys are still struggling, and Derek Carr is hurt, and now I have another rookie quarterback, you know, I'm trying to get used to over there too. So he's probably looking at all those situations like, well, dang, you know, like the Raiders might not be too bad. You know, it might not be too bad to go here. But I think at this point, that bridge is already burnt. That bridge is already burnt, and it's no, you can't unsqueeze that tooth. You can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. At this point, you can't unring that bell. What's done is done, and I think it's only a matter of time at this point.
Yeah, and then just to be clear with everybody that's watching, we're not talking about Davante and the talent. The talent is still there. He's still a pretty good to great receiver. Like, we understand that. But this is about trust. This is about, like, you know, we just don't want the drama because it's not like Davante woke up. Davante demanded a trade after a win.
Yeah.
This is how you know how selfish he is. He did it the day after Victory Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Victory Monday, he went up to Antonio Pierce's office and asked for a trade. It would have made more sense if he played that game and he had 0 targets, or Minshew kept missing them or whatever, and he had 1 catch for 8 yards, and obviously Davante was wide open all those times. I would have still been like, hey, nah, I would want him to stay, but I could understand it a little bit. But it was after a win. You missed the game a week ago. Yeah. The business decision comments.
Yeah.
The locker room is not really too surprised at how you kind of with the trade request, meaning that he didn't wake up and just ask for a trade. He's been talking about leaving the Raiders for a while now. And I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna play a clip real quick. And
team was off that Monday, so he had to call a special. Not like he was at the facility and he like, let me stop by AP's office real quick. Like he had to call AP, like, oh man, can we meet? Like the players were off. Only, I'm sure all the players weren't. I'm sure some players were at the facility getting their training or getting their medical stuff done. But like the team was off, so he had to like go out of his way to set up that meeting just to be like, yo, bro, I want to get out of here. Like,
yo, have you ever had a bad job and you just wake up on that Monday and you're like, I'm sick of this. It's just like, I'm done. Like that was him, bro. Literally, like,
yeah. But the thing is, he's been sick of it though. That's what I'm trying to say. He's been sick of it, and they know that he's been sick of it. So a little bit it's kind of on the Raiders too. That we talked about it before. Like
they're not 100% out of fault.
Yeah, sure. Part of the responsibility of this whole situation falls on the Raiders. We're not saying it's 100% on Davante Adams. Yeah. They, as a franchise, got to recognize that this is not a good fit. If you're hearing these noise from the agents trying to recommend a change of scenery and all that, that's on the Raiders to have a little bit of foresight and be like, you know what, we're a team that's going in this direction. Davante, it's not gonna work out well. And I think they try to see if, I don't know, they forced it a little bit. Obviously Davante did what he did, but I guess I'm gonna make this. I wanted to say something real quick about another team that would be a good fit with Davante. But before we get into that, it might be a good segue if we play this clip with Kay Adams, the Kay Adams show. Marcel Reese was on the show talking about the the Davante Adams situation. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. Let's see. Here we go.
I'm going to tell you this because I'm a little closer to the situation than I should be, but there's a couple teams. I think there's a sneaky team that a lot of people aren't talking about that could come in late. Last year when we were on this show together during the trade deadline, we predicted a trade as soon as we hung up. The Chase Young trade, we predicted it. As soon as we hung up, it happened. We can't do that again with Davante.
Are you saying we're going to get off the air and that trade's going to happen?
I think it's going to pick up here.
Okay, tell me this.
In the next few days.
Does in the next few days or weeks?
I'm going to say weeks.
Oh, shit. Really? What? Yeah. I don't have time for this. What? Does the sneaky team rhyme with Schmills? It does? Shoot, I'm so good. I'm so good.
I'm going to tell you this because I'm a little closer to the situation than I should be, but there's a couple teams. I think there's a sneaky team that a lot of people aren't.
So he kind of implied, obviously he knows that obviously the Davante is going to get traded at some point, but then with her comment, it made it seem like, Bills could be a team that's outside of those teams. First of all, what do you guys think about the fit? Does it make sense? Can we get a second round pick? I mean, I got to look at like if the Bills have a second round pick, if they're willing to do it. I know if the Bills do accept the terms that the Raiders are asking for, it sounds like the Raiders don't want to have any part in paying for Davante Adams' salary this year. And the Bills, in order for them to kind of agree to a deal, they don't really have enough cap space to take on Davante Adams this year. So it's going to be interesting. We'll pay attention to that. But what do y'all think about that? Bills being an option for the Raiders.
Hey, one thing I got to say about that is, hey, the rent's gone up. You're going to have to give up a little extra, man. Hey, you want them that bad? we keeping him until we get what we want. I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Go ahead and you know, say you want Davante Adams all you want. We know you're a you feel like you're a player away from a Super Bowl. You know, competing for a Super Bowl. That's cool, but it's gonna cost you. So they talking about second round. I don't care about none of that. Second round is cool, but hey, let's reach for that first. Let's reach for the first.
Hey, I
Why
agree.
not? It's anyway. You know
exactly.
what I mean? And you want a Super Bowl? You want to deliver to your fan base, Buffalo Bills Mafia or whatever they're called, right? You want to deliver to fan base a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And you feel like you're one guy away, go ahead and give up that first.
And I'll add this too. I think if it becomes a first, the Raiders should really think about maybe paying a little bit of Davante Adams' salary to make it a first.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now that's where you start getting a little strategic. Now, like, hey, we could really get the Raiders can get their quarterback of the future in the draft, or gives them flexibility in getting some players and improving this team. But
yeah, definitely.
I was gonna add another team that's not really talked about, and I'll be like, I think it would be a really good fit. I mean, the Commanders. Why is no one talking about the Commanders? They have the money to take on Davante Adams' contract. And outside of Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, you know what I mean? Their weapons around, Jaden could use a little bit of upgrade. And adding Davante Adams, especially, everybody's pretty surprised about the start that they're having. The offense looks really good. I mean, Jaden Daniels is better than advertised. Why not? Hey, if they continue to win, I think Commanders could be another sneaky team. I'm not sure if it happens. I'm not sure if they would want to mess up the chemistry of the team. But hey, Davante I think Davante should consider that. I don't know why he's looking at Derek Carr and the Saints and the Jets. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, and I know Davante would be open to the Commanders because he's had a lot of good things to say about Jaden Daniels during the whole offseason about which quarterbacks that he liked during the pre-draft process. So I'm just throwing it out there, man. I think the Bills obviously was implied in that interview, but I think the Commanders, they look like they would be a good fit. Like everything lines up. The money, they have the draft capital, they have the money, and they have the need. Just makes sense. What do y'all think about that? What did you think about that, Severe?
I think that will make sense, but I think Davante's not going there for one reason. Remember, once upon a time, Davante said, "Oh, I didn't come to the Raiders to look cute and play with Derek Carr." You come to find out that's exactly why he came to the Raiders, to look cute and play with Derek Carr. Like, look at his two top teams. Who are they? Oh, so they're the dysfunctional Jets and the also semi-dysfunctional. We don't know if Dennis Allen is going to make it out the rest of the year. New Orleans Saints. So if those are two teams at the top of your list that have the exact same record as us, obviously winning isn't at the top of your list of things to do. The top of your list of things to do is to go play with your friends and look cute. So Jaden Daniels is probably not one of his friends. He doesn't think they look good together, so he doesn't want to go there. So I would take it. I would take it. Especially if the Commanders were willing to give up a first round pick. I would love that. Especially since they're the team that took the quarterback we wanted. I would love to get some draft capital out of them and use that as ammunition to get up and get our own guy. But I don't know if that regime would do it, just because their nucleus is still very young. Terry's getting a little bit older, but he's not 32 like Davante. So I think they rather go the young route and not give up draft capital and push all their chips in the middle of a table in a season where they probably won't win it all. But I think the Bills, I think that makes more sense, because the Bills are on their timeline is a lot more truncated, right? They don't have the same amount of time that the Commanders do. It's not a brand new regime. They're still getting their sea legs. Like the Bills, they have time in, and they want to win now, and they kind of need to win now. So they'll probably be more willing to give up that first round pick in order to get a guy like Davante, because that is a win now move. And they gave Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs, So, if they can get Davante Adams out of us to kind of combat that move, I think they might do it.
Man, I disagree, man. I gotta push back. I hear you, man. I understand what you're saying, but I think once you figure out you have a talented quarterback on a rookie deal, that window starts then. It starts right now. Right now. You can get aggressive. They can get aggressive and get Davante, give him whatever type of deal. I mean, not some crazy, but something reasonable. He'll get paid, obviously, but they can afford to do. When you get a young, that's why I want the Raiders to get their young quarterback franchise guy in the draft, because now the Raiders will be, I'm hoping, will be super aggressive in building a team around a quarterback on a rookie deal, because now you'll have a lot more resources to pay certain players at certain positions. And Davante, I mean, Jaden Daniels looks like he's looking like C.J. Stroud. How he's affecting that team and has that fan base excited about the future. I'm just saying, outside of Scary Terry.
But see, why I say I push back against that is this, right? Who was the guy we were talking about? Was an influence on what the Commanders were doing. It's Bob Myers, correct?
He's one of the guys in
Bob Myers, right?
He's one of the guys in front of ours, but it's Adam Peters from the San Francisco.
Yeah, Adam Peters is the main guy, but one of the advisors there is Bob Myers. And so there was a time when the Golden State Warriors, and you'll know, because you're you're a semi Golden State Warriors fan. You kind of, you're in the area. There's a time. Yeah. There's a time when the Golden State Warriors, right? The time when the Golden State Warriors, they knew Steph was good. They knew Steph was good, and they didn't know quite yet what Klay Thompson was. And they had an opportunity to trade Klay Thompson for Kevin Love, who at the time everybody was like, Kevin Love is, he's a guy, he's a walk-in 20 and 12, right? Every year, but exactly. He was considered one of the better players in the league, and they said no to that trade. They would not include Klay Thompson in any trade. That even if they thought it was a win now move, they wanted to keep a young nucleus, because they didn't just want a one and done. They wanted to be able to extend that window and win more. Now, football is different. If you have a shot at a Super Bowl, it's more parity. You got to take that shot. But Bob Myers, they're advising them. I don't think they want to shoot their load now and have Davante for maybe one more year, maybe 2 more years after this. And then they're kind of asked out.
Pause. I hear you. Severe. I hear you 100%. I get what you're saying, but I think it's different circumstances, because there's no. You use an example of a player being included in a trade that's part of a nucleus. They're going to be trading for Davante Adams, one of the best receivers in the game, for draft picks. So in their mind, they got to do this. They got to look at it from this perspective. How many years does Davante have? How long do we extend Davante? What is the length of the contract? How long is Jaden Daniels on a rookie deal? This is his rookie year. So they have a lot of flexibility to make sense of the move. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, the only thing that I would say that would stop the Commanders would be this. And we kind of see it. Davante's ego. Because if he goes to a Commanders team who's established receiver, and Mike, you probably can speak to this, Davante wants the ball. You know what I mean? Davante is all about. We figured out that Davante is all about him, and like Severe said, looking cute. You know what I mean? Yeah. Pause. Yeah. You know what I mean? But Mike, I mean, what do you think of that trade scenario?
This is the most advantageous for both sides, and the reason why I say that is because, let's get into the mindset of a GM, right? You're making that call to Washington, like, hey, you guys are 4-1. You guys looking good right now, man. Mm-hmm. Keeping in mind that these guys have overpaid for a lot of free pass offseason. Hey, you guys are 4-1. It looks like you guys are ready to win this division. You got a rookie quarterback. We got a wide receiver that likes to train quarterbacks. You know what I mean? He gets into the mindset of a quarterback. We've seen him say this in press conferences, Davante Adams, that he gets into the mindset of quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Hey, you can have a guy like Davante Adams to get Jaden Daniels good to go. Davante Adams has spoke highly of Jaden Daniels as well. So what better to feed his ego than to go somewhere and mold a young quarterback? You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Two, you're like, hey, once again, hey, congratulations, 4-1. You might be able to win this division. You want to make a run? Davante Adams. But hey, it's going to cost you a little bit. It's going to cost you. First round pick. Hey, let's get this fan base. Let's get the Commanders fan base nice and excited, man. You guys got like crappy facilities over there. So you gotta get them excited for something, right? You guys are winning. How about that first round pick? And a team, if there's any team that's gonna agree to that, it's the Commanders. It's the Commanders that would agree to giving up a first round pick. And you know what's so great about that? They're not a Super Bowl caliber team. So that first round pick will be a mid first round pick. I'm not saying that it can happen, but what I'm saying,
I feel what y'all saying.
What I'm saying is hey, get what you want out of this situation. And if you don't get what you want, he can sit his ass in Summerlin in that mansion and learn how to change diapers. That's all I'm saying. Get what you want and go to the right team. That's all I'm saying about it, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a little dark here.
You guys make a good point.
If they make this would be the greatest thing to happen to the Raiders. And I don't want to wish injuries on anybody, but I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Y'all don't gotta agree with me. Y'all can just look away. If the Commanders trade for Davante Adams and Jaden Daniels, who doesn't like to slide, likes to take a lot of hits, gets hurt. That first rounder.
I thought you were talking about Davante. I thought you were talking about Davante getting hurt. Davante blowing a hamstring out again.
I don't think it's going to impact their. I mean, they're 4-1 without Davante.
Yeah,
I think Davante just makes them more interesting in their minds. Like, hey, this is a guy that can help develop their quarterback, all-pro, all-time, future Hall of Famer. I mean, I want to say maybe, but future Hall of Fame receiver, where he can make things easier for a guy who already has things figured out right now and is playing well. And on top of that, can make them an interesting playoff team. You know what I mean? Do they go all the way to the Super Bowl? I don't know about all that, but we've seen it with Burrow. You know, when he has the plethora of weapons, figured out a way to go to the Super Bowl with no offensive line. They didn't win it, but you know.
NFC's
but look,
up for grabs.
I'm just saying the Bills. I'm looking at the Bills. I'm like, Davante, does he really want to play in Buffalo? You know what I mean? It might be a chance for him to win, though. I'll say that. They do have a need. Makes sense. I get that. They do have a quarterback, so that makes sense for Davante. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like the Commanders are a very interesting spot for Davante because he has a chance to prolong his career a little bit. Yeah. You know, he's going. You know, he's had questions about Aaron Rodgers and his. You know, is he going to retire this year? He's 40 years old. You heard, I heard the commentator talk about Aaron Rodgers talking about how, you know, it's taking a while for him to recover, you know, things like that. Yeah. A guy like Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if he's built like Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Tom Brady was going to bed at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. when he was fifth year in the league. You know what I mean? Like, he was preserving his, like, hey, Tom Brady got a lot of respect for him. He mentality-wise, that's what separated him a little bit from all the other guys is because he was built different. He was built different. Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers might retire next year. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
He's
and
then volatile too. Like, he could turn around in the offseason. He's going to be back. And in the offseason, he goes on a retreat. And then he's like, well, you know, I got a vision that it's time for me to retire. And then he's done.
Exactly.
Now I don't know who the backup is for the Jets, but some random is throwing Davante Adams the ball, and now he's in the same situation that he was over here, just on the East Coast.
Yeah, and then we don't got to talk about the Carr situation.
Did you know who the new offensive coordinator for the Jets is? Ty Downing.
Good luck with that,
bro. Ty Downing. Yeah, let him go to the Jets. Let him go to the Jets with Ty Downing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then we don't got to talk about Derek Carr. We already know his situation. You know what I mean? Like, long term, does that make sense for Davante? I know he knows the guy. He's good friends with him and all that type of stuff. But like, Like if he was just being real, like it just makes Commanders look like a really good move for him. But it's just, you know, he's not familiar. I get it, but I don't know, man. It makes sense to me, but we'll see. I want the Raiders to get the best deal. At the end of the day, I don't really care like where Davante goes. I just want to be clear, y'all. I don't care where Davante goes. I just want the Raiders to get the best deal. Whoever that team is, hey, let it be the Buffalo Bills. Let it be the Saints. Just first round pick. Open first round, but it sounds like it might be less. Hopefully the Raiders will be strong enough to stay to basically just wait until the trade deadline to make that move until they get that deal, because obviously with these comments, I mean we all can agree like the Raiders they're playing the game right now. They're playing the game a little bit.
Good for them, bro. Good for them.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Let's move it along real quick, man. It's that time, man. It's extra point, man, and we're gonna go to my guy, Big Mike Raiders dungeon.
Hey, welcome to the dungeon. Hey, you already know what it is. A nice little film breakdown. This time I'm gonna just let it ride out, and I'm gonna provide my commentary for the sake of time constraints. So we're focusing on our guy Brock Bowers, 82.7 PFF grade, ranks number 1 out of all tight ends in the NFL. So if there is a bright spot in this season so far, it's been Brock Bowers. He's definitely as advertised. And I'm just going to show you what we're getting from him. This is the first play of the game right here with Brock Bowers. This is his immediate impact right off the jump right here. He's going to do a little quick swing pass right there. Boom. And he's always breaking the first tackle right there. Out of bounds, little short yardage situation. He can block. Look at him block. His block led to, Gardner Minshew getting the first down on the run. A little scramble right there. Nice play. And then, of course, you guys already know right here, his big touchdown, a 50-50 situation. Shout out to you guys with the 50-50. He goes up and mosses a defender. And then he breaks free, showing his elite speed at the tight end
position. Pat Surtain, too.
And that's on Pat Surtain, man. That is impressive. And we're going to see another angle because it's just that damn beautiful, right? We got a motion going to the right here for Shanker. Shout out to him, man. Debut. Back to pass. Throws a prayer ball. Mossed his ass. And now he's going down the sideline for a touchdown, man.
Real quick, man. Like, what did y'all I understand a great play by Brock Bowers, but what can you judge the throw, the decision by Minshew? What did you think about that? I mean, Severe.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Severe.
Yeah, man. When I saw it, I was like, okay, he must have somebody wide ass open. And then when I saw a defender right there, I'm like, this motherfucker about to throw an interception. Then I saw Brock Bowers kind of, Brock Bowers did a vet move, man. Like, he didn't push off. He gave dude, like, enough contact to get him off of him, but not so much where they was going to draw a flag, went up, caught the ball, and then took off, bro. I was like, thank God. But when I saw the defender stand there, I'm like, bro, this shit about to get picked. I thought this was going to be like the Trey Tucker pass later on. Like, I thought it was going to be one of those situations.
Yeah, and
I agree.
It just looked like a throw where he like Mike said, prayer ball. Like it's just like I didn't get the throw, man. But hey, it worked out for the Raiders. I'm not mad at it.
That's why he's not the starter. That's why he's not the starter. Man. But I'm gonna let this ride out. We're gonna see Brock Bowers motion and cause this long gain of a run. He didn't even have to touch anybody to cause this, right? Just look at Brock Bowers. He's going to be motion. We'll see another angle right here. But he's motion. Number 52 is he's scrambled. He's scrambled because he doesn't want Brock Bowers to break him. And that leads to a long game from Amir Abdullah right here, right? Right here. Look at 52. 52 right there on the screen. He's not even worried about the runner. Yeah. He's not even worried about the run. He's worried about Brock Bowers. And because of that, you got a big-ass lane right there. And Amir Abdullah, he finds the lane, perfect block from Jacoby Myers right there, and then he's going downfield for a big gain. And that was all because of what Brock Bowers brings to the table.
Yeah. And look, and for all you Getsy haters, that's a combination of Brock Bowers being a dangerous target out of the backfield, but extremely good play design. putting players in conflict. That's what you want to do as an offensive coordinator. Put defensive players in conflict, make them have to make decisions. And then later on, you can run that same action. And then if that guy stays home, you got Brock Bowers on a swing pass, running up the field untouched for 40 yards, doing his thing.
Real quick, Getsy last couple of games has really kind of like he's been calling. He hasn't been calling a bad game last couple of games. Do you think it's because of Davante not being in there, or just him figuring out the team and what he has and trying to?
Because he's running a lot more 13 personnel, 12 personnel. He's headlining his tight ends. You saw a lot of motions from the tight ends. You saw a lot of misdirection and things like that. And it's because you don't have to worry about feeding a guy who's demanding these number of targets, feed me the ball, and crying if he doesn't get his way. So I'm gonna say that is the reason why. I mean, and the film says it. But we're gonna go to this next play right here, right? And this is Brock Bowers. Like I said, he never misses. He never gets tackled on the first guy right here, right? And it's a simple swing route right here. He goes right here, and boom, he's dragging a defender for a few yards, almost gets in the end zone with this one. It would have been great if he did. We're gonna see another angle right here.
I wish he did.
Boom.
I
wish he did right there. But he cuts up the field, showing his elite speed and agility right there. And here's another one. This guy, he can block. Look at his recognition right here with the blocking situation. He's on our far left-hand side. He's like a slot receiver. He's kind of off the ball a little bit. He's not directly on the line, but he's still playing that tight end position. Let's let it ride out. Perfectly picks up number 0, lets him in, and then gets 52, helping out his buddies to the left of him. Hey. That's what you're getting from Brock Bowers. He can block too. Almost,
like that,
almost caught. He's doing everything. And then, right here, the play that changed the game big time. You got 84. He's motioning, and then boom, right here. I must freeze it right there, guys.
Touchdown.
If it's a touchdown, it's a touchdown. If Gardner Minshew sets his feet, and is willing to take a shot by number 52. If he just sets his feet and throws it a little bit lower, he has Brock Bowers in for a touchdown. We're up 17-3. But instead, we're taking one to the house the other way. So that is a big problem. That's why he's not starting. And then here is well, I think that's it, guys. That was the last play right there. But yeah, that's Brock Bowers in a nutshell, man. He's playing an immediate impact with this offense. Defenders are afraid for him to even break. He's blocking well. He breaks the first tackle. He's going up the field. He's cutting up. He has the agility and speed of a receiver. He's mossing dudes. He's outrunning DBs. Brock Bowers is the truth, y'all. We got us a special one right here, man, and that's the film breakdown.
He's better than I expected. Do you think his blocking could get even better than what it is now, or do you think this is probably where he's going to be at as far as a blocker? His strengths lie as a pass catcher.
Nah, he's going to only get better in everything he's doing right now. He's a guy that plays football. He loves football. I mean, they're trying to break him, break the, kind of the icebreaker and trying to get him outside of that, outside of that realm of football, but he's not breaking. He's a guy that's about his business. In the next couple of years, this guy is going to be the best tight end in the league. He's going to be a Pro Bowler this year, if not an All-Pro.
He's playing at that level right now. He's playing at that level right now.
He's leading the league in yards and catches, I believe, at that tight end position.
Tight end position. Yep. Yeah. And 82.7, like I said, PFF grade, number 1 in the league.
Yeah, leading all rookies as a rookie. Yeah. So
leading all tight ends in the league.
All rookies. Yeah, not just I think all rookie pass catchers too.
Yeah. This dude's the truth, man.
Yeah, man. I think, man, the sky's the limit, man. And hopefully, AOC can get him the ball, man, because that was a touchdown. I don't know how, that was a walk-in touchdown, but it is what it is. We got to move it along, man. That was a great extra point, man. Appreciate the insight, Mike. Let's move it along to the weekly game picks. Yep. It's week 6, but last week was our first week actually doing it. And hey, and man, my guy Severe, man, you know, came out on top. Hey, came out on top. 7-6. I like, hey man,
right.
he did his thing. He did his thing. He's leading the way. It was a tough week, tough weekend. A lot of close games, a lot of divisional games. Mike came in at 5-8. And, you know, I was tanking for that number 1 pick last weekend. I had a tough week.
Yo, you
3-10, bro.
You have to intentionally get a record like that, bro. Like, I feel like you did that on purpose, bro.
Pharaoh, he's sandbagging. He's sandbagging right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I already know that the chat is dying laughing right now, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna try to make it up this weekend, man. We there are games this weekend, so hey, it's gonna be a long season. Last week was our first week doing this, but let me get this record off. That's just disgusting. But let's go ahead and put this up real quick. So it's week 6 game picks. Put this on the screen, and let's start off with our. Oh man, what I just do? Oh my god! Hold on 1 second. My bad, y'all. Just had it on. Just see. But
make sure you guys clock in, man. Clock in. Hit that thumb, man.
Like
Let's
the
go.
thumb.
Let's go, y'all.
Most importantly, share with your folks.
Man, share with your folks. Yeah, man. We working it out. We working it out, man. But yeah, man. Hey, I gotta improve on that record, man. 5-8. That's nasty work. That is nasty.
3-10, man. I'm getting the best quarterback in the NFL draft right there.
No doubt.
It was a tough. It was a lot of upsets. It was a lot of upsets.
Yo, hey, Pharaoh, do that twice. Do that
twice.
Again.
I know, right?
Yeah,
hey, you know what?
I bet you won't do it again.
Hey, I already know. We all competitive over here, so we got to figure out a way to make this interesting. We got to figure out to make this interesting as far as like, you know, whoever has the best record by the end of the season. I don't know. We gonna figure something out.
Hats on the line. Hat on the line, bro.
Hat on line. Okay. Y'all want to do that?
Red Raiders hat on the line.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's see. All right. Let me put this on the screen. Let me see if I could move this out the way.
Oh, Seahawks driving. Looking to go up. Okay.
So I'm going to actually switch this up real quick so that we can see.
Yep.
And let's take that out way. All right. So as you can see, first game. Let's move that the way. Jaguars, Bears. Mike, who you got? Oh, let me actually make sure I keep track of this.
Yep.
But yeah, who you got, Mike?
I got the Bears, man. We saw the Jaguars offense wake up a little bit, but I think that Bears defense is going to be a little bit too much. Caleb Williams, hey, looks like he's starting to find his stride. I got Bears winning this one.
Yeah, I'm not the same mistake again. I'm never picking. I picked the Panthers last week. That's why I'm 3-10. I'm not going to do that again. It was. I think last week was Panthers and Bears, and I'm definitely going with the Bears, man, on this one. With the Jaguars look shaky, man. I don't know. Last week it looked like they were ahead. They're going to win that game, and then they allowed the Colts to come back and win that game. So nothing is coming easy for this team. And is this? Hold up. This is in London. Ooh.
Yeah.
London games are weird, man.
London games are
weird. The Jags played well in London too, bro. To be honest with you.
That's really their home stadium. That's like
they've been there every year.
Right there.
Yeah, they've been there every year. I want to say so. They generally play well out there.
Yeah. So, oh man, damn, it's in London. Got to be some weird. I'm gonna go Bears. I'm gonna be real conservative this week. I gotta redeem myself.
You got some comebacks to make, man.
Yeah, man. Who you got?
You know what, man? I'm gonna go Jaguars. I think you got a young quarterback traveling overseas for the first time. The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence kind of found his stride. Him and Brian Thomas have a good connection. He's been killing. I'm gonna say that the Jaguars. I'm gonna say the Jaguars. Veteran coach, veteran quarterback. I'm gonna go Jaguars.
See, Severe playing with house money. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars.
I mean, no lie, my gut says Jaguars, but I'm gonna stick with the Bears. I said Bears first. I'm gonna stick with them.
It's because it's in London too. It's like Jaguars typically they play well, in London too. So I can see it going that way. That's why it had me thinking about it a little bit. But we picked our picks. This is a good game. It's a good game with two highly mobile QBs. Commanders, Ravens. Who you got, Big Mike?
Got us a little regional rivalry right here. I wouldn't say cross town, but geographically right next to each other. So, and this is gonna be a good game. This might steal the show for the week, but I got Ravens winning this one. They're starting to surge at the right time. I got Ravens.
Man, it's a tough game too, man. Jayden Daniels is balling, but he is a rookie, and this is in Baltimore. Man, Ravens last week they pulled out a tough one, and Lamar Jackson right now. I'm going with the Ravens at home. Who you got?
Yeah, man. I want to go with the Commanders. My boy is Jayden. I want him to win this game. I think if he wins this game, that puts him clearly in the lead for the MVP. But Lamar Jackson, he's playing on another level right now, and they kind of figured some things out last week. And the Commanders, their defense is been horrible. They played well last week, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
There's a conspiracy out there that Severe is Jayden Daniels. We never seen him in the same room. I'm just saying, man.
Very true.
I'm just saying.
Very true.
I'm just saying.
This is true.
You can't see the
This is true, man. So we got Ravens across the board. All right. Hey, man, I'm not mad at it. But, the Commanders, man, they're just one of those teams we didn't expect to be this good so early, especially with Jayden Daniels balling right now. But, man, this could be a high-scoring game, too, by the way. It could be – I can see it could be a high-scoring game. But we'll see, man. Hey, next game, we got Cardinals-Packers. Cardinals had an upset win against the 49ers last week. Packers, obviously, with Jordan Love. Who you got?
Packers win this one. They're Lambeau Field. Cardinals come back down to earth. They're a young team. They're going to have some growing pains. This is the perfect time to have growing pains. On the road at Lambeau Field, I got the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going with Packers, but I am kind of Jordan Love hasn't taken that step that I thought he was going to take this year. I mean, I know last week was his first win. They've won like the majority of their games with Malik this year.
Malik Willis.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, they haven't looked as strong. I know Christian Watson is out at receiver, but I'm going with Packers at home. I think Cardinals had like a big divisional game that last week. They usually play the Niners well. It's just I think Packers win at home.
I'm gonna say the same, man. You got a dome team from Arizona going to Green Bay, Wisconsin in the late fall or early winter time. So it's gonna be intemperate, I'm sure. So I'm gonna roll with the Packers. Unless Kyler Murray, unless he get to cooking again and chunk the deuce up, before he even get past all the defenders. If you get that crazy. Kyler Murray, the Packers will be in trouble. But I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Okay, man. I agree. We got the Texans and Patriots. Definitely on paper, this looks like might be a lopsided, matchup. But Patriots starting the rookie QB, Drake May. Yeah. Who you got, Mike?
That might inject a little life into the Patriots, and it's going to be competitive. They're home. Yep. Can the Texans handle a game that they're perceived to be heavily favored? Can they handle whatever their favorite by, if it's double digits, whatever it is? Pick the plus for the Patriots, but I got the Texans winning this game in a close one.
Right, and for everybody that's watching, this is straight up. We're not doing spreads. We're just straight up. Who's going to win?
I'm just throwing it out there for a little extra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So There you go. Just get some free games. So you got the Texans.
Texans, yeah, for sure.
Texans, okay. Texans are dealing with some injuries. Nico Collins, I believe, is out this week, but they still got this fun, Diggs. They still got they drafted in the third round. I think that was a guy that the Raiders are targeting. I believe before they took Tank Dell. Before Raiders got obviously Trey Tucker.
Coach JB disciple.
Oh, for real?
Tank Dell?
Oh, okay. Tank Dell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man.
JUCO. Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm going Texans, man. I'm not going to overthink this. I mean, I understand the Patriots at home. Patriots are one of those teams sometimes they weird games. It's just they're the Patriots, but I'm going with the Texans, man.
Yeah, same here. Texans. CJ Stroud is a better quarterback. That Texans have a pretty good defense. We all know about Will Anderson Jr. Derek Stingley has been playing like one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He might be number one PFF rated cornerback in the league right now, if I'm not mistaken. And then Kamari Lassiter, he's probably defensive rookie of the year right now. So they have two good corners and a great quarterback. Tank Dell is a weapon. They still got Stephon Diggs, and I think that without Nico Collins there, Dalton Schultz starts to get a little bit more involved. So yeah, the Texans.
Okay. Got Texans. All right, next game, man. We got Buccaneers and Saints. We all know that Derek Carr is out. Rookie QB Spencer Rattler gets his first start. A guy that was picked in the fifth round. The Raiders had a chance to get him. But he's going against, Mike. He's going against a veteran defensive-minded coach. What do you think? Who's going to win this game?
I got the Saints in an upset.
Hey,
You're not going to get chopped the whole way. I got the Saints. They're at home. Spencer Rattler, maybe he brings some magic to that offense. Alvin Kamara's playing like his old form again. And they got some weapons outside, and they can give the Buccaneers some fits. I think the Buccaneers are they are a mediocre to pretty good team.
Yeah.
And I think 3-3 is where they should be. I got the Saints winning this one at home in an upset.
Man, I could see it too. I could see it. Clint Kubiak gets that young rookie QB in there, makes the game a little easy for him. And man, they can get the ball rolling. And it's at home too. But Todd Bowles, I think he's gonna have something cooking. I don't know if the Buccaneers defense has played well this year, but it is a rookie QB divisional game. That it can go either way. But I'm going with the Bucs, man.
Yeah, man. I really want to pick the Saints because in my heart of hearts, I want the Saints to win. But Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield has been playing pretty well. Todd Bowles is a good defensive coach. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers, man. But if the Saints win this game, I will be happy. Especially if Spencer Rattler plays well, I'll be mad. But I'll be mad as hell, actually. But I want the Saints to win, but I'm picking the Buccaneers.
All right. We got the Browns and Eagles this week. Browns are going through their own issues with Deshaun Watson. That saga is still, man. They gotta. I don't know. I don't know if there's any way out of this. Unless Deshaun Watson just says I retired or something like that.
Because write it out, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy for the Browns right now, and I'm not sure if Chubb is going to be back this week. I know he's been cleared to practice, and so he's getting ready to come back, but I don't think he's come back this week. I'm not 100% sure. But we got the Eagles, obviously. Mike, man, what do you think?
Yeah, I got the Eagles winning this one. The Browns are reeling. They were a better team with Flacco as the quarterback. They should have probably kept him. I got the Eagles winning this one.
Yeah. Eagles have kind of surprised me. Like, they haven't been really good offensively. Ever since they lost that OC that became head coach for the Colts, like, offensively, they've been hit or miss. Shane Steichen, obviously, he's the head coach for the Colts. They were doing doing a lot of good things when he was out there with the Eagles. But ever since he left, they haven't been the same offensively. And obviously, they lost Kelsey. He retired, so that kind of that was a tough loss to their offensive line. But hey, great pickup in the offseason with Saquon. I think he's up there. He's up there as far as rushing yards. I don't know. Is he healthy this game? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm taking the Eagles, man. Keeping it simple.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna take the Eagles as well. There has been some issues between Hurts and Sirianni here. Sirianni is kind of on the hot seat. People were kind of comparing that situation a little bit to the Jets Salah situation with him and A-Rod, but I just think the Eagles are the better team. The Browns have been struggling, so I'm roll with the Eagles.
All right. Colts Titans. Who you got, Mike?
Man, this might be the pillow fight of the week. Both teams aren't really that great right now. But I think the advantage that they do have is Jonathan Taylor. I don't know if he's playing or not, but the Colts have a lot more playmakers. Even since they got Flacco over there, he can get it cooking over there, especially if AR5 isn't going to be playing. I got the Colts winning this one in a close one in Tennessee.
Close one. All right. So the Colts. Yeah, if Anthony Richardson plays, I don't know who's gonna win this game. My confidence in Anthony Richardson has gone. I was big on Anthony Richardson coming out. Obviously, he has physical tools, but I thought it was a match made in heaven with Shane Steichen. What the job that he was able to do with Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. Thinking, man, he could do. You take another athlete at quarterback, mobile QB, but he hasn't been healthy. So he hasn't been on the field long enough to get those all important snaps in. But if Flacco plays, I think it's the Colts. Oh man, this is tough. Let's see, 1-3 Titans. Man, and I'm going Colts because their quarterback the Titans quarterback is just he's a mistake waiting to happen. So I'm going Colts.
Mayo boy, old Mayo Will Levis.
Yeah, man, Mayo coffee. Yeah, I'm going to Colts as well. I mean, they had I think they were. I think Flacco missed Mo Alley Cox last week, and that would have been if they would have hit him, they would have won that game. Flacco was dealing. Flacco had his career-long rush. Anytime Flacco, we saw this last year with Flacco on the Browns, right? Flacco gets in there, he starts dealing. I think that the Colts I think Pittman is out though, but they have some weapons. Mo Alley Cox, Downs, Alec Pierce. I'm going Colts. Shane Steichen is the better coach. Flacco is a better QB.
I heard they're calling AR5 IR5 now.
That's funny.
That is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
Damn shame. Nasty work.
Man.
Man, the two hated teams in the division are playing this week. Chargers, Broncos. And they're playing. This game is in Denver. Who you got? Mike?
It's gonna be a tie 0-0. They both suck. No, I'm just playing. The Chargers win this one.
Tie is an option.
Yeah.
You can't say
tie is an option, yeah. Chargers defense, this is going to be a defensive battle right here. I mean, both defenses are pretty sound.
Right.
But I got the Chargers. Justin Herbert gets cooking finally. We'll see him cook a little bit. Chargers in a close one.
Man. Oh, man, this is definitely it's definitely going to be a defensive game. But Bo Nix has played well as of late. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's playing clean football, and that kind of goes with the type of football that they're playing right now, and they're winning games defensively. I'm gonna go Broncos. I'm gonna go Broncos. This is gonna be my upset, even though they're at home.
A slight upset.
Man,
because the better QB is with the Chargers. Head coach, you can argue, for both sides. I mean, obviously, Jim Harbaugh obviously has the success, but
this is a tough one just because I think Justin Herbert is questionable. So I'm expecting. I don't know if he'll play or not. You know what? I'm gonna go. The Broncos defense has been on point. The Chargers don't really have a lot of weapons. And the strength of the Broncos defense is kind of in that interior with Zach Allen. So I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Going Broncos. Hey, you see it too. You see
Hate
it
to
too.
do it.
I hate picking either of these two.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we got the Steelers and Raiders this week.
Yes,
I guess we could throw in our score predictions on this one too. Who you got, Mike?
All right. So, hey, if Justin Fields is playing, this is going to be his last game starting because he's going to make a lot of mistakes and he's going to set up the Raiders for short fields. The offense is going to stay in that system, not do too much, not wow you too much, but they're going to do just enough. I got the Raiders in an upset, 20-17.
Oh man, that's my exact score.
I was going to keep it simple, man. Raiders 24-21.
Yeah, man, I got the Raiders. I think Aiden O'Connell does enough. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't do anything crazy or no crazy explosive plays, but we march up and down the field to give it a heavy helping to Brock Bowers. Justin Fields, y'all know how I feel about Justin Fields. So I got the Raiders 20-17 as well, man.
Makes sense. Low scoring game. So we got the Falcons and Panthers.
Yep.
Who you got, Mike?
Oh man, the Panthers. We let them off the hook with that one. They should be 0-5. It's crazy that that's their only win is us. But I got the Falcons. Falcons they're starting to find their offense. Kirk Cousins threw for over 500 yards last week, and he finally found Kyle Pitts. You know, Kyle Pitts has been kind of missing. That seems to be the X factor right there. I mean, they got a
story of his career. Story of his career.
Yep. So, Falcons on the road, big.
Yeah, I'm going with Falcons, man. I said I'm not going with the Panthers for the rest of the year. I'm done with them. Like, they're disgusting. I can't believe we lost to them. But you know, it is what it is. I'm going with Falcons. They're trending upwards. Panthers obviously have their own issues. They have better quarterback. It seemed like better coach team. Just better overall team. I like the Falcons in here. And Kyle Pitts, man, he's one of those guys where super talented, but he just, you know, maybe the lack of quarterback situation has kind of hurt his career as far as production wise. But yeah, man, I got the Falcons. Severe, who you got?
Yeah, Falcons. Kirk Cousins is back on his "You Like That" trip, so
right.
He was dealing last game. Drake London is a beast. Darnell Mooney, ironically, he gets away from Justin Fields and his career turns around. Isn't that funny? And then they have Kyle Pitts. Bijan Robinson is a beast, and then Algier as well. I'm going with the Falcons.
All right. Lions Cowboys.
This is going to be a hell of a game, man. This might be the best game of the week. I got the Cowboys winning this game off of a very long field goal. Brandon Aubrey has one of the strongest legs in the NFL. This dude can boot it from about 70 if he wanted to. I see the Cowboys winning this game with like a 58, 59-yard field goal at the buzzer. I got the Cowboys.
Cowboys, okay. All right. I'm going Lions, man. I don't trust the Cowboys. The Cowboys are one of those teams. They look good one week they just have a tough game. I'm going with the Cowboys. I feel like the Lions will be able to control the trenches. I feel like they'll be able to run the football, get that play action going. Lions just a better team, better coach team. I just like the Lions this year overall.
Yeah, I love the Lions too.
Yeah, man. Same here. I'm going with the Lions. I don't know if Michael Parsons is going to be back. I don't know if DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be back. But either way, you got what's our left tackle? Decker? Is it Decker? Decker and Penei Sewell. Got two of the bookend tackles. They have just a fantastic offensive line. Jared Goff has been playing good football. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been killing. Sam Laporte has been killing. Jahmyr Gibbs is doing his thing. Even David Montgomery is playing well. So I think last week the Cowboys were able to hold Justin Fields and the Steelers offense, keep it relatively low scoring. I don't think they're going to be able to do the same thing with this Lions offense. So I got the Lions.
All right. We got Bengals and Giants. Giants had an upset win last week against the Seahawks in Seattle without Malik Neighbors. But they play the Bengals this week at home. Who you got?
I got the Bengals winning big, man. They lost a heartbreaker last week. They gotta get it out of the hole. They're 1-4. This team is better than that record. I got the Bengals winning this game big.
Yeah. Historically speaking, the Bengals do start off a little slow. This is probably the slowest I've seen them start.
Wow,
Yeah, that game, they should have won that game against the Ravens.
They should have.
But it's just that stadium, that New York stadium, like it's a weird stadium, man. Like
it is.
Crazy things can happen there. But
Matt
I'm
Lane.
going Bengals. Yeah, I'm going with Bengals. I'm with you, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals as well, man. They put up a boatload of points last week. I think they had a late turnover that basically cost them the game.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow's finding his form. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I'm going Bengals.
All right. And last game, we got the Bills and the Jets. Oh man. And this is gonna be also gonna be a New York home game right here, MetLife Stadium. First game of Jeff Ulbricht's career as an interim coach. They're going against the Bills.
Yeah.
Who you got, Mike?
This is the Davante Adams Bowl, possibly, allegedly, right?
Right.
I got the Jets winning this one. We always see this in the NFL where the interim coach comes in and just injects a whole new life in a team. I got the Jets winning this one in a close game, defensive battle. Josh Allen don't look good, man. He was like 9 for 30 last week against the Texans. He didn't do passing wise. He didn't look good. Look up the stats, man. He was like 9 for 29 or 9 for 30, something like that. There's something going on with Josh Allen, man. And this is going to also solidify, hey, we might need another receiver over here to help out Josh Allen. So I got the Jets. Got the Jets winning this one.
Okay. Oh, man. Bills, Jets. It's crazy because I'd be like, man, the quarterback situation for the Bills is better. But then I'm like, Aaron Rodgers on the other side. I don't think he's lost it. But the Jets just got a lot of issues on offense. Todd Downing is now the play caller. I like everywhere he's went, he struggled. Raiders, Titans. I mean, maybe as a QB coach, he has it figured out, but as a play caller, I don't know. Yeah. Man, I'm going with the Bills, man. I'm going with the Bills. I think if Josh Allen was 9 for 30 last game, he's gonna bounce back this game. So I'm gonna go Bills.
Yeah. Let me confirm that for you, man. Hold on. He didn't have a good game, I'll tell you that.
Because I know a lot of people been talking about him being an MVP candidate too this year. But I don't know. Not based. If he went 9 for 30, it's not based off last game. I just think overall, I guess he's been pretty good. But
yeah, Allen clearly struggled throughout this game against the Texans, hitting on just 9 of 30 pass attempts.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Texans do got a defense though. They got a solid defense.
Yeah. Like I said, Texas might have the best cornerback tandem in the league with Stingley and Lassiter.
That's true.
And so do the Jets. The Jets do have a good defense too as well. So you might be on to something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, with that being said, though, Aaron Rodgers has looked like hot dog water out there, bro. You know, he's, he just you know he got banged up at the end of the last game. You know, he's old as all get out, and I think Coach Brick said he should be ready for Monday, but you know, it's going to be a night game. It's probably going to still be cold. You know, like when you get those kind of injuries and you old and it's cold, man, that stuff can cry back up on you. And I think Josh Allen, I think he has a bounce back game. I think just he just returns to the mean, right? If he had that horrible of a game last week, he'll probably come out on a scorcher this one just to, you know, because he's not a 9 for 30 quarterback. So, you know, that's what usually happens. The back-to-back games, he'll come back hot to make up for what he did the week before. So I got the Bills, but I am tempted to pick the Jets. But, you know, I don't trust Hal Down to get off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust that dude to wash my car.
I get where Mike is coming from, though, because Jets defensively are pretty good. He's at home.
That was with Robert Saleh, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jeff Ulbrich was
interim coach.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But, you know, we'll see. I mean, and then MetLife is just a weird stadium. Like, anything can happen, bro. Like, this might be
I can see the Jets doing it. I can see it doing it, man. Like, I can see them doing it, but I can't. I can't go against the quarterback and the coach who I think are better.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up pretty much Week 6 game picks, man. We'll be back here next week to see the final record. Hopefully I could redeem myself, man, because that was an ugly start to the game picks last week. But hopefully, be able to bounce back.
I picked too many games similar with Pharaoh. My strategy was whoever Pharaoh picked to go the opposite way.
For real.
I'd have been 10-3 last week. Goddammit.
Nah, for real, man. But as you guys can see, man, it's a few teams on a bye week. Dolphins, Vikings. They're Vikings 5-0, man. Crazy. Who would have thought that? Rams. Damn, the Raiders get Rams after a bye week. Ugh, that's disgusting.
That ain't right, bro.
Oh,
they won it for it though, man. So, you know.
Yeah, that's Sean McVay's out there. He's gonna be cooking something up. Like, you give him an extra week to game plan against team. God damn.
And last time we thought we had the Rams, you know, figured out.
We got Mayfield.
Yeah. So
yeah, man. But yeah, hey, man, that wraps up Week 6 game picks, man. We'll be back here to talk about it. Like I said, I'll redeem myself. Hopefully I can redeem myself this week. But, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, like the thumbs, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, great show. Severe. Let the people know where they can find you and what to look forward to.
You guys know what it is, man. This is Severe Raider on YouTube, on IG, on X, on TikTok, on Snapchat. You find me every Friday night here with Around the Shield, every Tuesday night with the 50-50 show. And, you know, I usually do a show on Tuesdays as well with my guy 805 and Protect the Shield. So I'm trying to find a way to drop my own stuff, man. I don't want to dedicate my entire life to YouTube, but I'm trying to figure out trying to fit something in there somewhere. So just be on the lookout for that, man. I'll probably make an announcement or say something on the community tab as well as on socials. But, you know, just make sure, as I said last week, man, I challenge everybody, you know, if you enjoy what you saw today and you want to see more of it, just share with 3 people that you know will find some value in it.
Thanks. Hey, Mike, man, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to.
Hey, Severe, man. Come to the dark side, man. It's all right. Give your life away. You know, for this YouTube. But hey, it'll be all right. We'll take care of you. But you can find me X, IG, Big Mike Raider, at Big Mike Raider, YouTube at Big Mike Raider. First thing that pops up in a search. We got a lot of things going on right now. Business is booming. You got Reaction Mondays from me on Mondays. Wednesday, the Big Elite Podcast. It's a new thing that we're doing, a weekly Wednesday show with me and the Elite Raider.
Fire.
And yeah, we've been having a good time with that so far. And then, of course, on Fridays, Around the Shield, man. You guys already know. And then Wake Up with Wasted and Big Mike on Sundays. So come on and check us out, man. We got a lot cooking.
Hey, man, that sounds good, man. Hey, look, we like Mike said, like Severe said, we do this every week Around the Shield. We drop it every Friday, and sometime it might be live. But in order for you guys to know that, you got to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we drop lives, when we drop any type of new content. So make sure to hit the notification bell. Around the Shield every Friday. And then obviously me and Severe, we do the weekly 50-50 show every Tuesday evenings, sometimes nights, you know what I mean? Just hit the notification bell so you'll be notified and don't miss out. So and then obviously make sure to follow Around the Shield all over social media, mainly IG and X, and give us a follow there. You'll get updates on the Raiders, what we all got going on, podcast clips, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Any last thoughts, man, before we head out, man? Any last thoughts, man?
Man, we covered all bases, man.
Oh yeah, man. I keep forgetting, man. This is something new that we dropped, man. Hey, the 50-50 shop. It is now live. It is open, man. 5050shop.printify.me. It's gonna be linked in the chat. It's also gonna be linked in our me and Severe's description. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. But it's pretty simple. 5050shop.printify.me. New stuff every week. This week we dropped I believe we dropped the One Nation, man. So definitely check that out. One Nation shirt. And obviously there's hoodies, all that good stuff. So make sure to check it out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it on my end. Is there anybody got any last thoughts before we head out?
Nah, man, we begin the era again. So no, let's hope that we have at least as much success as we had last time around. We were a little bit over 500. Let's hope we can go do at least that. Hopefully better. And we can finish the season off right and quiet some of the people that are calling for Antonio Pierce's job already.
Right.
It'd be crazy if Aiden O'Connell throws for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and Davante somehow, some ways, like, I'm sorry. I was having a mental breakdown.
Like, nah, dog, you good, man. You can go.
Nah, we good, bro. We
good, bro.
Man,
if we can do that without you, we all right.
Trade his ass to the Jets, man. Trade his ass with Aaron Rodgers, his buddy, that's breaking down as we can see. That's happening every Sunday. But
yeah, man.
It is what it is, man. But hey, we'll be back next week, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Peace.
Hey.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.